So you wanted to be a cop, but then realized most of your job actually involves handing out tickets and waiting for crimes to occur, and not just you beating and arresting people based on race, political ideology, and looking at you funny. Or you tried playing the doctor and realized that their ability to incapacitate people is really fun, but wished you could still use weapons. Regardless, we have the perfect character for you. I'm Ian, and this is my Streets of Rogue character guide to the cop.
We're about to start, Chief.
No, you got the wrong number. This is 912.
The cop is unlocked by bribing cops to ignore your crimes across 3 separate runs. This makes the cop one of the easier characters to unlock in the game. As for the cop's description, it reads, follows the law of the land unflinchingly, even if it doesn't always make perfect sense. Despite this, the cop became disenchanted with the current government after a law was passed preventing more than 4 people from dancing side by side, sadly forcing the cop's village people cover group to disband. The cop starts with an average of 2 in all stats except firearms, which is set to 3, which is great since you have a pistol in your starting inventory. You'll also start with a police baton and 5 dizzy grenades, the latter of whom are great for stunning foes, which will be needed if you intend to use your special ability on large groups. Speaking of, your special ability is handcuffs, which I assume your character stole the entire police department's supply of since you never see non-player cops use these things, and because you have a literally endless supply of them. If you're behind a foe, or if they're incapacitated, such as when they're hit by a dizzy grenade or slipped on a banana peel, you can cuff them after waiting for your doing something bar to complete, similar to if you were trying to shove a syringe into an air vent. You might think this is overpowered, however your trait, the law, discourages you from arresting literally everyone on a floor. This is because if an NPC is labeled as innocent, you'll lose EXP for killing, arresting, or stealing from them. However, this is very easy to avoid since individuals you can arrest with impunity are labeled guilty by simply having your cursor over them. You can see this in orange. So check before making your arrests. Helpful advice on finding guilty individuals: mission targets, as well as drug dealers, are always guilty individuals who you can arrest with impunity. Also remember the law trait makes it so that other cops are allied to you, so you don't have to worry about police intervention as a general rule of thumb as you go through the earlier levels. However, super cops and cop bots may prove problematic on the later floors. But what kind of cop would you be without some kind of unofficial but heavily implied quota? Let's get to that big quest, my friends. Your big quest is called Law-Abiding Law Enforcer, which gives you a quota of 10 marks to complete every floor. A mark counts as guilty individuals. If you arrest someone with a cuff, that's 2 marks. If you just kill them, that's 1. Much like the previously covered Slum Dweller, link will be in the description, you can make up for lost progress if you fail to meet your quota each floor by making up for it on later floors by going above the necessary quota. So long as you have 150 marks by the time you reach the mayor's village, this will count as a complete big quest. What's your reward for completing this big quest? Well, glad you asked. You become a super cop. This gives you a +1 to all your stats except endurance, which gets a +2. This also makes it so that super cops and cop bots become allied to you, meaning you can literally just walk up to the mayor and arrest him. No fighting or anything, just walk up, cuff him, done. If you're like me, you can play a boombox before arresting him for extra style points, because what's better than arresting the mayor? Why, arresting the mayor while his bodyguard dance to the beats, ignoring their charge completely. Just be warned that killing NPCs and arresting them will not only cost you negative XP, but also cost you marks, and you can get negative mark totals. So I advise grabbing the crooked trait if you can, if you think this is going to be an issue for you as you progress through the floors. I also advise trying to do a purge on the cannibals throughout the park levels, since if you can cuff a majority of them, you will likely end up having more than enough marks to create a solid buffer in case of something going wrong during the uptown and downtown levels. All in all, I give the cop an easy mode out of 10. Not needing to worry about your fellow cops trivializes most of the adversity you would have to deal with on a typical playthrough with other characters. This makes the cop the perfect character for those who just want to chillax and play some Streets of Rogue without needing to worry too much about stuff like, will this cause the police to attack me, or is it okay to kill this guy? Because those things will be labeled with a nice orange guilty. Be sure to like if you did, sub if you don't want to miss the next character guide. I've been Ian, and stay tuned, the Doctor is coming up next.